The stone in the bottom of the foundation hole has been leveled with a laser to within 1/4 of an inch. All of the footing forms are nailed together in the corners and at the butt joints. The inner and outer forms are attached together with 3/4 inch nylon straps that are spaced 4 feet apart and at the joints. The sewer line needed to be buried deep enough to go under the perimeter drain and the footing. Once all of the forms were laid out, I used a laser to make the top level, within 1/8 of an inch across the whole foundation. I lined the forms with plastic, which will not only keep the concrete in but will also help to keep radon out. Rocks were placed in the bottom of the forms to keep the rebar in the middle of the footing. The rebar was wired together with at least a 26-inch overlap. I hired a pump truck to fill the concrete forms. As the forms are being filled, the concrete is leveled off with a 2x4 across the top of the form, and then smoothed out with a trowel. Vertical pieces of rebar need to be placed every 2 feet where the foundation walls are. It is very important to measure carefully and snap chalk lines where the edges of the concrete forms are going to be. 2-inch long pieces of 1.5-inch PVC were on each vertical rebar, and horizontal pieces of rebar were laid out around the perimeter. I used BuildBlock brand insulated concrete forms for the walls of my foundation. I started setting the blocks in place. On the first course, all of the blocks are attached to each other with zip ties. Rebar is added to each course of blocks in vertical fingers that hold them in place. These also need at least 26 inches of overlap. Once you are up to the second course, the blocks lock together like Legos. After the bottom 2 course is set, the walls need to be straightened out, then the bottom course is glued to the footing with spray foam insulation. At this point, it is all really simple: set a course of blocks, add rebar, and repeat. On the inside of the forms, I built a catwalk that will be used when the concrete is poured. The 2x4s that are attached to the forms are also keeping the walls vertical during the pour. I added 8-inch bolts to some pressure-treated lumber that was cut to fit tight in the end of the insulated concrete forms. I reinforced all of the corners with plywood and braced all of the walls with 2x4s to keep the walls straight while the concrete hardened. Once the forms were filled, they were leveled with the trowel, and then J-bolts were added every 4 feet. I coated the outside of the foundation with a liquid adhesive called PolyGuard. I used the poly wall system to waterproof the foundation. DMX AG is a plastic product that goes over the waterproof membrane. It has 1/2-inch bumps that allows water to flow all the way to the perimeter drain. filter cloth was spread all around the foundation to keep silt and sand from plugging the perimeter drain. Sand is used as backfill up against the foundation to help the water drain. The rest is filled with the material that was dug out of the hole. Filter fabric was spread over all of the stone in the basement. We filled in the floor with sand up to the top of the footing level. It was leveled with the excavator and then compacted. Now that the foundation is done, we are ready for framing. If you want to be notified when my next video is available, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.